We've taken a look at several of the Dark Knight's Metal's evil versions of Batman over the past little while, and today we're diving into the amalgamation of Batman and Aquaman, known as the Drowned, pun entirely intended. The Drowned's origin story is pretty darn neat, and heads up, major spoilers if you haven't read the Drowned one-shot yet. With that in mind, let's jump into our list of the top 10 The Drowned Batman shocking facts, or rather a recap of what you probably already know if you're up to date. And at number 10, Batman's female. This Batman-Aquaman amalgamation originally started off as Batwoman, a superheroine by the name of Bryce Wayne. Bryce isn't the first female version of Batman to pop up though. On Earth 11, a gender-reversed Earth part of the main multiverse, there's a Batman named Helena Wayne, who's technically Batwoman there. The Earth that the Drowned lives on, Earth -11, is actually a dark reflection of that Earth. And at number 9, Sylvester Kyle. Bryce isn't the only gender-inverted character here. The Earth -11 version of Selina Kyle is Sylvester Kyle, Bryce's lover, until he's murdered by a metahuman. This is what sends Bryce off the deep end. Yay, water puns. But there isn't any explanation beyond that, except that Bryce then goes rogue and starts killing metahumans out of revenge. Up next, number 8, Aquawoman. After Bryce has killed everyone, Aquawoman reappears. She's been in exile, and 12 months after Bryce has committed metahuman genocide, Aquawoman shows up and wants to establish peace between Atlantis and Bryce and the surface world. But Bryce doesn't trust this. She thinks this is Aquawoman's way of conquering the surface world, now that no metahumans stand in the way. And turns out, Bryce's gut was right. And at number 7, Aquawoman's Trident. So the two duked it out and Bryce managed to defeat Aquawoman, impaling her with her own trident. Bryce kept the trident as a trophy and it actually helps boost her hydrokinetic powers. But more on that in a sec. Aquawoman's death caused the Atlanteans to submerge Gotham, to which Bryce's response was, I quote, "a setback, the price of waging a war." Cynical. Up next, number 6, her surgeries. Bryce knew that if she was going to defeat Atlantis, she would need to get on their playing field. She surgically altered herself. I quote, "Sacrifices had to be made. Life during wartime is obliged to adapt. I adapted myself, an auto-surgical process to become like them." So Bryce gave herself the ability to breathe underwater, to fight on their terms, using mutated hybrid DNA to alter her own. And at number 5, new powers. After the operations, Bryce was capable of more than just breathing underwater. She also had accelerated healing, superhuman durability, speed, stamina, and strength, the latter being strong enough to overpower our Earth's Aquaman and pummel Cyborg with her own fists. And in addition to that, her surgical implants give her amphibian traits, and hydrokinesis, but more on that in a sec. Up next, number 4, weaknesses. On the flip side of that, let's take a look at her disadvantages. Since her entire world is underwater and has been that way for quite some time, Bryce has an acute sensitivity to light, making her vulnerable whenever she's exposed to it. She also has a few cosmetic issues, like pale skin, like really pale skin, not normal paleness, blackened lips and teeth, and a lot of cracked up facial features due to severe desiccation, and the fact that her body has become hygroscopic, aka her body attracts and holds water but goes through a process of extreme drying when not exposed to it, causing her to look the way that she does. Dermatologist's nightmare. And at number 3, the dead water. Her hydrokinesis extends to the ability to control other hydrokinetics, along with the ability to summon water as a conduit, and something else called her dead water army. The dead water are basically her own genetically modified sea creatures, who we haven't been given too much information on yet, other than it seems that Bryce has been collecting them and modifying them over time, with some critics saying that they resemble Atlanteans, potentially implying that she used their own people against them. When summoned by her will, the dead water can swarm her enemies too. They can also infect the water around her, making others unable to control it, as we see with Mira, and can even transform them into dead water sea creatures too. And at number 2, drowned her planet. Due to her new hydrokinesis abilities, in which Bryce can manipulate vast if not limitless amounts of water, Bryce drowned the planet. After she had managed to take over Atlantis with her dead water army, Bryce began to occupy it, and decided to drown the rest of the planet, justifying it by saying, I quote, "The price was a new way of life for the victors, a drowned world." Sounds like someone's a little overly righteous, aren't they? And finally, in number 1, the beacon. Bryce put out a beacon for any survivors, the last light in existence in the world, knowing that it would be a sign of hope and that people would migrate to it, if they didn't die. The whole planet being drowned, that is. But when they did, that's when things got real twisted. Bryce would transform them into one of her dead water creatures. The beacon stayed on until the Batman Who Laughs turned it off, leading Bryce out of the dark multiverse and into the main one, where she transforms Mira into one of her own dead water creatures, and is about to kill Aquaman when Dr. Fate intervenes. Alright, there we have it, friends. Who's your favorite Batman from the Dark Knight's Metal event? Let us know in those comments below. And as always, give us a shout about what videos you'd like us to do next. If you dug this video, please show us some love and hit those like and subscribe buttons, and maybe head on over to our channel to check out more nerdy vids on our top 10 superheroes playlist. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you in the next one.